It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you're tuned into World Combat Sports. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, you're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good? We only, a day out before Christmas? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wait for some other people to get in here. You know, those of you that's in the chat, salute for pulling up. World Combat Sports in the building once again for your boxing, MMA, and all the other combat sports combined that needs this combat sports media. Man, I got some good news for you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to break some shit down just a little bit today. You know, it's the holiday spirit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have to bring it to you. You know, I got to bring you some more holiday cheer via World Combat Sports Media. We about to head into 2021. I want everybody to know, spread the word. We need to get these subscribers up. Like I told you before, if I have to tell you to like the video, then that's a little bit too much for me. If you're really messing with me, you support the channel, you know, hit the like button when you come in the building. It's like minimal. It's minimal effort. Minimal effort, y'all. But I want to give a salute to everybody who's pulling up this evening. I know some of you all are pretty much in the holiday spirit. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. I'm hoping everybody is able to get what they want for Christmas, to be honest. You know, I hope you had enough. And surely you're not waiting on that stimulus check, that $600 stimulus check. Please, I hope you're not. I hope you're not waiting on that stimulus check, because you might be waiting a little bit longer than what you expected. You understand? So, you know, let's get down to it. Let's get right down to it, shawty. Let me put my thumbnail up there so y'all can see my thumbnail. The priority of the topic of discussion is Jermall Charlo. You know what I'm saying? And Errol Spence, of course. And, you know, shout out to Mark Nash in the building. What's good? I'm going to drop a link just a little bit later after I get through this intro. I want every one of you all to, you know, see the thumbnail. And of course, boom, let's get it. Appreciate everyone for pulling up today, man. It's damn near Christmas. For those of you that still, you know, celebrate that and look forward to it. I mean, it changed. The older you get, the less shit you get. You know what I'm saying? The older you get, the less you get. So I'm just being honest. You know, it's cold outside. You know, it's good to have your girl over, you know, keep you warm. But when you get where I'm at right now, right, you know, Christmas presents are few. I mean, they come if they come, they don't, they don't. You know what I'm saying? You just have to deal with it. But the main topic at hand, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. Enjoy it with your family, whoever you with. And, you know, just look forward to 2021, man. The boxing and combat sports in general are much better accommodating, you know, outside of this pandemic that we've been in for 2020. And hopefully we got some good fights, some solid ass fights. I mean, I'm talking about some thrillers. I'm talking about the best fighting the best, you know, to that. Something we can look forward to so we can get on here and discuss as boxing aficionados and hardcore scholars covering the sport. And we can take it from there. So if you're looking at my thumbnail, Jermall Charlo, right, just recently came out and said, you know, he want to face Canelo at 168. And I'm curious to know, how did Errol Spence take that? Because for those of you that may not know, Jermall Charlo is not the stablemate, okay, of Errol Spence. All right, Jermall Charlo is at 60, and Errol Spence is at 147, but his stablemate is Jermall Charlo. Him and his brother used to be together running Shields before they split, and Jermall Charlo went with where he at now with Derrick James. So this is I want y'all to understand. How is it sitting with Errol Spence trying to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, and then Jermall Charlo all of a sudden saying, I want to get a fight with the cash cow, the pound for pound king, when he just been sitting at 60. Initially, he was up there saying, you know what? Canelo got to meet me at 160. And Canelo's like, okay, senor. You know what I'm saying? Canelo, look, he hadn't even paid Jermall Charlo any mind, man. Now, the ego has dissolved, and people getting in his ear, they saying, man, you should try to get that fight, because your boy Errol Spence, who's at 147, he's trying to do something you haven't been able to do. So imagine Errol Spence actually getting the fight with Canelo Alvarez before Jermall Charlo. That shit will look, that would be fucked up, because look at it. Jermall Charlo is a 2-division champion. Errol Spence is a 2-time world champion, and he ended up getting a fight with the damn creme de la creme right now in boxing before Jermall Charlo. That would suck. That would suck. Look, Jermall Charlo falling behind again, because from my understanding, Jermall Charlo started boxing before Jermall Charlo. But Jermall has a lot going for him right now. You know what I'm saying? His entree, when it comes to the world championships, is getting that last belt from Patrick Teixeira. So Jermall, picking up another belt whenever the friendship title came in for Canelo Alvarez. And now he's trying to still work his way up to a notable opponent so the boxing fans can pretty much recognize who they are. Not just showing up at a fight and the camera's shining on you. I'm talking about pound for pound. Forget what we say over here. We can say, okay, so-and-so fight this person, they're going to be pound for pound. This person fight, they're going to be pound for pound. The Charlo brothers, listen to me. You don't want to be twins, and neither one of you is able to grow outside the other into the pound for pound list. That will suck if you all go your entire career without ever touching the pound for pound list. But yet, you go over here and say, lines only, lines only, lines only. It's right now. We already know what lines only is. We know what that is. We understand what you represent. Jermall Charlo went through a little adversity with Tony Harrison, ended up coming back, getting his title. Respect, salute. But why be reactive all of a sudden and choose to try to call out Canelo Alvarez when Errol Spence is pretty much taking the limelight? You know what I'm saying? First of all, I always say this, right? And I'm not trying to be one of these guys who's sitting up here, trying to be condescending, right? $6.25 word. That good liquid, the holiday liquid called H2O. So therefore, I'm looking at it like this, right? Jermall Charlo, how long have you had to be proactive to get this fucking call out? Why are we playing catch up, my brothers? We are playing catch up. It's it's basically time to lead from the front. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying Spence is being proactive? Not really, not in my opinion, because Spence been in the welterweight division for quite some time right now, and all of a sudden he's trying to make a daring escape to prove that he should be in front of Crawford on the top pound for pound list. So he needs to do something that Crawford haven't been able to do yet. First of all, he's trying to fight the top pound for pound in boxing, right? So therefore, if he's able to make that move, then for Errol Spence, I believe one of his primary goals is to push past Crawford on the back end of the career as the top pound for pound. Now, he don't want Crawford to retire, and then he's moved past into a slot, even though he still had Alexander Usyk in front of him. You know what I'm saying? He don't want Crawford to retire, and then he move up a slot. He's still behind Usyk or whatever the case may be. So he's trying right now desperately to gain the attention of the boxing fans to do something that Crawford hasn't been able to do. Is he taking a shortcut? Sort of, kind of. Yeah, because Crawford is 3 division, right? So Errol Spence, if he's able to go over there and defeat Canelo at 160, man, his career changes. His career changes like no other. He's on a whole nother level. And, you know, we're going to give him his just due if he's able to go over there and accomplish a feat that we didn't even think he was able to do after a car accident. Look, when I tell you, if Errol Spence is able to get this fight and defeat Canelo Alvarez, you're talking about pound for pound. You're talking about ending his career, making the decisions like you always wanted. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of new fans, basically moving his career. I mean, you're talking about expeditiously to the top of the food chain, just like that off one fight. If he's able to go over there and defeat Canelo Alvarez, the top pound for pound, not only in the U.S. will his career change levels, but the Mexican fans too. Right now, they adore Canelo Alvarez. A lot of Latino boxing fans, man, they adore Canelo Alvarez. So for Errol Spence to go over there and get that accomplished, if that is the case, he would change the entire scope of his boxing career, the way people look at him. Now, do I believe that's going to happen? Him defeating Canelo Alvarez, moving up to 60? I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you. Do I think that he may get the fight before Jermall Charlo? It's possible. It's possible he might get the fight before Jermall Charlo. Charlo, they have to speak up, bro. These Charlo twins, man, they have to speak up. They got to self-promote. These brothers in general, man, let it be a lesson learned. Like, you can sit up here and buy all these vehicles and material and show us all. We don't seen it before from athlete to athlete, right? You can show us that you're living the life of affluency, lavishly, luxury, you know? But when it comes to your boxing career, you're going to want individuals to look at you of what you was able to accomplish as a fighter. Not speaking to the press or basically not even entertaining us as media until you have a fight day coming up. It's going to hurt you. And fighters is coming up. Y'all need to understand that. Y'all need to pretty much get a hold to the media and self-promote yourself. Look, if you can come on YouTube and get some free promotion or anywhere, why don't you? If you feel that the channel is in your best interest, why don't you go over here and get this free publicity? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Andrew Charles? What's good? Appreciate everybody that's pulling up. So, you know, when I look at what Jermall Charlo is trying to do, along with Errol Spence, a lot of people would say it's good initiative. It is good initiative, but why does it have to be reactive at a time where Canelo Alvarez is not even recognizing either one of you all? Canelo Alvarez is pretty much looking to close in and get the rest of the titles at 68. He has 2 of them already, and therefore he's looking for the WBO and the IBF title. Now, if that, you know, we're not even really placing Avni Yildirim as a true competitor to slow Canelo down. Get the fuck out of here. We don't care. So if Billy Joe Saunders is going to be next, you know what I'm saying? Because he's supposed to face Avni Yildirim in February. Now, this fight was already closed down. Canelo is good for making fights when he already has fights. He stepped in there with Cesar Chavez Jr., and he had a fight with Gennady Golovkin, right? He stepped in there with his more recent opponent, Callum Smith, and we pretty much knew he had a fight with Abney Yildirim in February 21. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo Alvarez was looking past Smith and to Yildirim, looking past his ass, and to set up a potential fight mid-year with Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? So look, he's able to go get that WBO strap. We will have another division that's very close to being unified. Now, what happens in between that, we don't know. What I mean by that, I'm looking forward to see who Caleb Plant, how he's going to do in his next opponent, and him keeping the belt and everything. You still have David Benavidez, who's a worthy opposition up there at 68. He's not out. He's just fucking around too much. Whatever he had going on in his life, man, I hope it wasn't sobriety issues that caused him to step on the scales and lose his title. And then they say, you know what, David, you want to keep on fucking off? We're going to move you up to light heavy. So they put him in the light heavyweight rankings. And look, David Benavidez had to petition for them to put him back in the super middleweight. He said, I'm not, why y'all doing that? I can still make the weight. So now they forced this man, for whatever the conversation was, they told him, okay, we'll put you back down there. Well, you ain't going to keep on doing this shit. So make up your mind so we can get on with business. Stripped him of his belt, man, and Canelo scooped that shit up. Did I not say Canelo is going to find a way to get the WBC? Canelo find a way. And look, I hate to tell my people, to tell black people to look at how another fighter is doing it. But in this particular scenario, they should. Not just the Errol Spences and Jermall Charlo, but I'm talking about the young fighters that's coming up. Make these decisions if you feel that you're comfortable with it. Man, be a leader. You know, set the bar. You can't wait on somebody else to go catch. You're waiting on somebody else to go catch. We could never forget what Canelo Alvarez did when he stepped in there with Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, it was a clinic, but guess what? He's been in the stars ever since, people. He's been in the stars ever since. I'm looking to see some other fighters take the risk like that. We just seen who? Teofimo Lopez. Same thing. He fought for Vasyl Lomachenko. He took the risk. 3 killers back to back, y'all. I say it all the time. Nakatani, Richard Comey, and goddamn Vasyl Lomachenko. So for Errol Spence to come off a Danny Garcia fight, he looked okay. Now, excuse me. Now, the banter that he's talking about is chasing Canelo Alvarez. So he shows up at the zone, and you know he wanna talk stupid. Seriously, he wanna talk stupid. I'm looking at Spence like, I've been very respectful, but you look at my thumbnail, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you call it, but let me put my thumbnail back up there. Transcendent Sports, what's good? Salute to you. Look at my thumbnail, people. Look at what Jermall Charlo is saying. You know, little intricacies and, little subliminals in there. Jermall Charlo say, fuck that, bro. You must got some screws loose. So if you don't know already, that was what Terrence Crawford said. Terrence Crawford said, motherfucker, you must got some screws loose for the accident if you think I'm going to take 70-30. You must have lost your motherfucking mind if you think that I'm taking 70-30. And he's every bit of right in how he's approaching that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about as far as him being unwilling to take 70-30. That's fucked up. Now, I don't know what the hell is going on with Errol Spence, and, he's trying to prove to people. Look, he's trying to prove to people, like I said before, he's trying to regain the fans plus then some on the back end of his career as if he's the good guy now. He wants to be the black Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion. He wants to be the fighter that everybody looks to right now as being the next best star, the next biggest star. So what he's doing is associating himself or aligning himself in areas which can make him look different. You know what I'm saying? As far as the culture, you know, going to horse shows, you know, up here filming a horse going for $1 million. I'm gonna be honest. A horse going for $1 million. I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool. But if you have some horses and shit, and then all of a sudden they're your therapy, okay, that's all right. But the way you've been talking and acting like you don't know how the sport is ran before your accident, and look, I know a lot of people are talking about Crawford. You know, they get mad at what Crawford said because they always want to hold Crawford to the motherfucking cross. They get mad, and then they're up here talking about Crawford said he didn't want to fight Spence first after the accident. People, listen to me. Listen to me. Spence wouldn't have fought Crawford as the first opponent coming from his accident. His team wouldn't have let him step in the ring with Crawford off that accident. So let's just put that out the way and saying that Crawford ducked Errol Spence coming off an accident. It's absurd. It's preposterous. Lunacy to even consider that Crawford ducked Spence because he said he didn't want to fight him after his accident. He wanted the 100% Spence. Let's not forget how he sealed it up. He said, I want the 100% Spence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to take a look at that, man, for what it's worth. Let me see some of the comments in here, man. What's going on, Milo? Big up comeback. Seems like Bud got the stunt man petrified. Damn, Milo be coming in here with some one-liners, man. Don't think I'm, you know, I don't read and listen, but you know, he's saying the stunt man. I get you on that. That's around my wheelhouse. That's around my wheelhouse, Milo, the subliminal shit. But yeah, I see where you're going, you know. But why is Jermall Charlo right now? Why he hasn't faced freaking Demetrius Andrade? Whether it's Andrade, whatever. Why don't you face Demetrius Andrade? Who are you going to face moving up to the 168-pound division? So all of a sudden, you're just going to make an impulsive move and say, you know what, I want to go up to 68 just for Canelo Alvarez. Is Canelo Alvarez going to see Jermall Charlo as a worthy opponent? Because look, it is very, very fucked up when the guy that you're chasing is showing you very minimal interest or consideration. We have two black fighters now chasing that's in the same boxing footprint. Errol Spence and Jermall Charlo now facing Canelo Alvarez. When I'm telling you all, the fighters is coming up. And one fighter is just trying to do that shit. I ain't gonna lie. He's trying to do that shit. And that's Shakur Stevenson. He just seems like, you know, he want to lead from the front and make his own decision and do what he do. But Jermall Charlo and Errol Spence is trying to call out the top pound for pound, and he's not even mentioning their name. People, he's not even mentioning their name. Rivalries. When we talk of rivalries, at least both fighters acknowledge the other. And they say, you know what? Yeah, I heard he calling me out. If he wanted, he can come get it. It's all good. We can make that shit happen. We can make that shit happen early first quarter of 21. That's what's up. And then the other fighter, the other one saw, okay, we can do this. My people going to get with his people. We're going to get with y'all real soon. We're going to make this happen. So they talking that healthy talk, that healthy motherfucking trash talk. You know what I'm saying? The shit that we know is going to get close real quick. We can take that shit serious. But with this Errol Spence and Jermall Charlo, it's like all of a sudden coming out of Texas, we got two individuals that's trying to fight Canelo Alvarez. How many of you all, how many was at the fight when Canelo showed up? How many of you all were there? That's all I'm saying. How many? Canelo just came in Texas, right? Did we see Jermall Charlo? Did we see him calling out Canelo Alvarez? Did we see any press? Did we see anything to hype us up and say, yeah, that's what we want to see right there? Did we see Errol Spence and Jermall Charlo freaking battling each other to get up there for the camera time and say, no, Errol, I want this fight. Errol say, no, Ma, I want this fight. So now, you know, they can say, okay, we got two fighters out of Texas that really want Canelo Alvarez. And they're supposed to be cool with one another. But when it comes down to business, that's what it is. Nope, we didn't see that shit. We didn't see none of that. We didn't see none of that, people. Look, Canelo came one-sided. You know, he became the bicep surgeon. He went in there and freaking influenced or initiated the injury with Callum Smith. And it was a one-sided motherfucking fight, right? He came in Texas and left. The only person I felt that benefited, listen to me, man. The only person I believe that benefit from there that actually is involved with media is Ellie Satback. You know what I'm saying? God damn it, Ellie, ES News, salute, bro. Ellie was getting all the motherfucking exclusives. You know what I'm saying? Ellie was every fucking where. I was like, God damn, all Charlo and Errol Spence. You can't get with Ellie? Look, I don't have no reason to dislike Ellie. You know, if I was in the game covering media, some way, shape, or form, whether it be basketball or boxing, I would be like, yeah, you know, I did, 10 years NBA, came over here to box, and now I'm covering this boxing shit. It's been a long road, but I was in the military, so I ain't have the opportunity to do that shit. And plus, outside of Marine Corps boxing, you really can't attend fights on a regular basis if you stay stationed overseas and you deploying all the time and all that. That shit don't fucking work like that. But I did not see, people, those of you that's tuned in, am I right or wrong? Did you see an interview with at least ES News with Errol Spence or Jermall Charlo to say, hey, what we got cooking? Well, I just want to let everybody know I want to face Canelo Alvarez, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And then Ellie will always instigate like he do. Well, it's good to know that, Errol Spence. So what are you doing in the welterweight division? You still want to fight Crawford? He knows shit is fucked up, right? Elliot say, so what do you think about Crawford right now? What do you think? Huh, Errol? Are you going to give him 80-20? And then Errol would have said, well, come to think about it, that's what we give him. That's what we give him. Okay, all right. Ellie, he's going to get the views, dog. Elliot asked a question like that because people accept him with doing that. But to make my point, I did not see Errol Spence and Jermall Charlo even with ES News. And he was every fucking where with Canelo. Canelo this, Canelo that. He was everywhere. Why not, since you was over there, Errol Spence, why not step in there and get some love? Give the fans what we want to see. But the disappointment was that Errol Spence people want to latch on to him saying he's going to give Crawford a fight. Now let's be serious, please. I don't have to take my glasses off and say, let's get serious here. You saying that Errol Spence at the end of his narrative had basically mentioned he's going to give Crawford the fight, right? So being that he said he's going to give Crawford the fight, do we ignore the fact that he also said 60-40, 70-30, whatever we give him? We're just gonna wash that over. We're just gonna smooth that over like he didn't say that shit. That is what you call a deterrent. He's trying to, he want to warm up certain casual fans and say, yeah, I'm gonna give him the fight. But 60-40, 70-30, whatever we want to give him. And people looking at like 70-30. Nigga, you tripping. What the fuck are you talking about 70-30? And that to me right there, I'm saying, man, this dude Spence, I don't know what the fuck is going on with his thought process. I don't know if he's trying to make the fight. You know what I'm saying? Duck the fight. But his cadence is becoming the same. He went up there and convoluted Terrence Crawford's win and talking about what Bob Arum said. Then he turned, he's just not giving no good signs or anything that he really want to take this fight. Then he want to continue to talk about what the proof is in the pudding. Nobody gives a fuck about, what Bob Arum is talking about right now. He says what he want. He the OG in the game. He's going to say shit. He's older. You know what I'm saying? And Bob Arum's going to say some fucked up shit sometimes. Okay, we understand that. But that doesn't mean Errol Spence latches on to it and use it for a deterrent. Are you going to fight Crawford or not? Then he turns around and say, well, his team comes out and say he's going to fight 2 to 3 times in 21. All right, cool. He's going to fight 2 to 3 times. But he's not letting us know who he's going to fight. So we don't know who the fuck he's going to fight. We have no idea who Errol Spence is going to fight. But we know he wants to fight Canelo. We know definitely he wants to fight Canelo. And all of a sudden, Jermall wants to fight Canelo too. Then, going back just a little bit, after the damn fight with Danny Garcia, he gets on the mic and say some dumb shit like he don't know why Terrence Crawford is here. He need to stick to his words. He said he don't need me. Then he don't need me. Stick to your words. I'm not going to his fights. I'm not going to any of his fights. Oh my God. Like, is it just me, people? Or it sound like Errol Spence whining to me? It seemed like this dude is fucking whining. He said, look, he feels some type of way now. We talking about a dude, he always talking about man down, but he feels some type of way because Terrence Crawford said he don't need you for his legacy, which is absolutely true. He does not need Errol Spence for his legacy. He doesn't. It'll be good to have his name on his ledger, though. It'd be good to have that record, it'd be good to pick up those unified titles, of course. But with that said, he'll still be a 3-division champion anyway. Now we bring in the question if Terrence Crawford can pick up that last strap. And we don't know where the fuck that's happening. We have so many names just floating out there for that WBA strap. We don't know. But back to the topic. That's where we at. I think it's absolutely reactive for Jermall Charlo and Errol Spence to be calling out the same guy who's not even taking them in consideration. It seems like they desperate. It seems like they wasn't prepared. All of a sudden, somebody put the bug in their ear. Hey, you got to fight. Derrick James, you got to fight, man. You look damn good, Spence. Let's call out Canelo. It's time to make that money. It's time to be great. And he really didn't look all that good. But once again, Sean Porter didn't look all that good before stepping into the ring with Errol Spence. You know what I mean? Like Sean Porter is one of those guys who fight to the level of his opposition, plays around with his food a little bit, gets the win and move on. And he shows up at the big fight. He hasn't did well. He doesn't have a very solid win, the loss percentage when he's stepping up against the champions of welterweight, but we already know that. But real talk, it's a holiday. Some apple juice. It's the holiday spirit. Major Key Boxing in the building. IB, what's good? France in the building. I have my PC to the side, so because I wanted to wear my focals tonight. So let's get to the good part. Let's get to my homeboy. Nah, out of respect. Let's get to the part of the live where I want to address. And first and foremost, shout out to Williams Jr. 150 boy Wonder. What's good? I gotta address my man BH. Yeah, they call him BH. It's a back end of that, but y'all know him as Bill Haney, right? Look, I know some people been hitting me up, right? And I really haven't said anything disrespectful about him at all. So stop fucking whining. Me and him the same age, man. Stop fucking whining. This boxing. So, you know, just because I make some thumbnails about Devin and talk about his resume, that's what I feel. It's boxing. That's what it is, man. So anyway, you know, Michael Williams Sr., who's the father of Michael Williams Jr., you know, he finally was able to go on the Boxing Voice, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up, because when Bill was on that other day, you know, it was talking about this, that, and the other. Of course, you know, I put my input in there. I inserted my input, and you know, Bill has said I'm a nemesis, a thorn in his side, which isn't true. I'm just media, and media isn't sometimes accommodating to everyone. It's not supposed to be. But you know, he said what he said, and there's been a lot going on about the call out of Devin Haney. We said it, but it was a one intricate part where Bill went into the motherfucking, you know, he went into the ravine. We just wanted him to continue to float and be cool, but he had to take that dive into the ravine, right, and make it dirty. He sit up there and say Devin stopped Williams Jr., right, with a body shot in sparring. So of course, 300, he had to go in there to the Boxing Voice today and clear that shit up, because you just can't leave that impression with the Boxing Voice, who has such a huge audience. You just can't allow that to resonate and them digest it and say, you know what? There's no need for us to support Williams Jr. because Bill Haney, who's finessed a lot of these groups out here and befriended them, and they have some trust more than the average, they might believe that shit. So he had to go in there and clear that up. So he told the entire story that his son did get hit with a clean body shot, and he didn't go down immediately. He was moving around, and then, you know, once he took a knee, Devin came over there and punched him in the head. I mean, hard. He came and punched him in the head. So he still didn't go down. So after that, you know, chaos ensued or whatever, and then Bill Haney called Devin over there to the corner, took his headgear off. From what I was told, that, you know, he excoriated Devin a little bit and said, "Why you do that? That was fucked up, blah, blah, blah." You know, and he stopped the sparring. Bill Haney stopped the sparring, right? So 300 went in there, explained that shit, articulated to the best of his ability so people can understand that that's what happened. And now his son is not soft. His son can sit up here and go in the ring with Devin Haney and get that victory. We truly believe that shit. But this is what I want to address, right? And of course, I got to keep the gas going a little bit, you know, on this particular subject, because a lot of my people love use capping. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my people love use capping. Every time you turn around, so you got to have receipts. When I came over here and I was telling you all the Devin Haney record is marginal. Marginal. The way he received it, you saw the thumbnails, the way he received his belts and everything else that goes along with it, he is not facing top tier competition, period. We know that shit. But, you know, Bill gets on there and say what Bill says, and he's supposed to advocate for his son. Seriously, he's supposed to, man. Who am I to sit up here and tell him not to do that shit? But my people, we have a history, an unfortunate history of somewhat believing individuals that we can relate to. Whatever that is. If it's material, then we relate to the material. Some of us live vicariously through people that's close enough for us to basically associate with and converse with. You know what I'm saying? Some of us live vicariously through that. Like what Bill was able to do was genius during the Gary Russell situation. He was able to come on social media, talk to all these platforms, get them comfortable, get them to embrace him. So when Devin came around the fight, they got that support. You know what I'm saying? They got that support from Devin Haney. Free media. Free media. You just go out here and, you know, anybody go on these sites, say something about Devin, These cats, some of them be dropping the link behind. Hey, so and so talking about BH just pop up like Casper. Yeah. What's up? What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So peep this, right? I've been telling pretty much what's evident for public record on BoxRec. Devin Haney resume is subpar to be in his position and to be considered the Floyd Mayweather and all that shit. So all the disrespect that's been going on with 150, you know, sitting up here, you know, some of his people calling him a bum and making these false videos, you know, trying to link 150, who was a quiet, respectable dude, trying to link him up as if he's trying to start beef with individuals and upcoming boxers that he never even met. Let me turn y'all on to something. And a lot of you already know this, right? But I'm speaking strictly about my people because I'm black. If you want black people to turn on one another, once again, if you want black people to turn on one another, that's just one action that you need to take. One action that you need to take. You know what that action is? A lie. A lie. That's it. Tell a lie, and that's what you're going to get. Tell a motherfucking lie. Man, now, some of y'all might not want to know it, but y'all know this shit is true. Tell a motherfucking lie. If you want black people to turn on one another, if you want to see it happen, tell a lie. Be in a certain position where you are believable, tell a lie, and somebody else will pick it up. That's it. Just tell a lie. So that's what was going on with 150, man. You had, you know, his name floating around here. And individuals was up here trying to link him up to fighters that's not even in his weight class. Not even close to his weight class. And those of you, y'all need to understand how that shit works. When you're in the regional level and you're working your way up, you can compete in different divisions. But guess what? To the individuals that don't attend those regional cards, they wouldn't know that. They just look on BoxRec and say, oh, he competes at welterweight. But they don't know that you can goddamn fluctuate divisions and weight. You can do that. You can. It all changes the higher you get. You know, if you competing for a title or whatever the case may be. So I've been adamant about Devin Haney not having any power after Gamboa. I said it several times before he stepped in there. I basically highlighted his opponent, you know, his last two opponents before Gamboa, because they themselves were opponents that wasn't high up on the food chain at all. I'm just telling the way it is, man. So they tell us, you know, Team Williams, that, you know, Bill costs 300 and basically we don't get no love for a fight. Oh, y'all keep on chugging them on, keep on doing that shit, keep on working hard, keep on working hard. You know, typical black people shit. Yeah, I see you out here, keep on working hard. We're talking about a black team that has history with a black team. I just told you sparring, and they've been to the amateurs and came up and all this other shit, right? So Michael Williams Jr. is freaking 21 years old. So we hear all the time how Devin Haney is so young. Well, Michael Williams Jr. is young too. But they built different. They built different. You know what I'm saying? And the matchup would be outstanding. So me saying, I'm looking at Bill Haney and saying that, you know, other people's like, who is he fault? Well, ask the fucking question of who is Devin Haney fault? Devin Haney ain't fought nobody. He's absolutely fought nobody in the top 10. Prove me wrong. That's all you got to do. Just prove me wrong. Just prove me wrong on who Devin Haney has fought in the top 10. That's all I'm saying. So Bill Haney gets on there. He said what he said. And, you know, I just want to bring up some receipts on what I'm talking about. So Bill Haney don't want to give Michael Williams Jr. a shot because, you know, he ain't fought nobody. You know, it was said that he ain't ranked and all this other shit. But I want to tell you, all that shit don't matter. When somebody truly don't want to give you the shot, when they truly don't want to give you the opportunity, rankings don't fucking matter. Michael Williams Jr. could have been in the top 15 with the same history, and Bill wouldn't have gave him a shot. If Bill is trying to continue to get Devin paid without the rigors of boxing, that's what's going on right now, people. But peep this though. If you think I'm bullshitting, check out my first receipt now, because we couldn't get the shot. We couldn't get the shot with Devin. All these people up here saying that who has he fought? His resume sucked, this, that, and the other, but they're not looking at Abdullayev. You know, when have they came to the U.S. to fight? When did Alfredo Santiago come to the U.S. to fight? Who is he? 11-0, 12-0. But you take a 14-0 fighter and you want to basically examine, you want to scrutinize who he's fought instead of saying, you know what? That's a pretty good opponent, because Teofimo Lopez, he's more focused on going over there to Australia right now. He's talking about a bag that Eddie Hearns has to negotiate for Devin Haney and his team. 7 to 10 million. Just like he said to us, who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that? Well, check this out then. You know, this is the first receipt. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this shit. Let me turn up my volume. Let me turn up the volume. This boxing talk. Let me turn up the volume.
Sparring, or whether it be in a fight, you know, then you to witness greatness, because that's what Devin is, and we're willing to fight anybody.
Did you hear what he said at the end? They striving for greatness, right?
Sparring, or whether it be in a fight, you know, then you to witness greatness, because that's what Devin is, and we're willing to fight anybody.
So I'm pretty much scratching my head, because Bill just said he'll fight anybody. So I'm saying to myself, God damn it, am I literate enough to understand or interpret what Bill Haney just said? He said he could fight anybody. So, you know, I'm assuming, having graduated high school, middle school went back then. So I went to elementary, the high school. I'm looking, did I skip some fucking classes? I said, did I goddamn skip a class? Am I dumber than when I look in the mirror, am I dumber than what I see? I'm just curious. I'm just trying to find out. Did he just say they'll fight anybody? But yet Williams Jr. step up to the plate, people, and he want that smoke with Devin Haney. Nah. There's people, these temporaries out here. No, he don't rate the look. He don't rate the step in there with Devin Haney. No, man, hell no. Who is he fought? And I'm saying to myself, man, this shit too easy. Like, seriously? Are you not paying attention to BoxRec? Or are you more concerned about him stunting on IG and goddamn placing 430,000 or a block of freaking damn cash in the window of Amazon currency? You know what I'm saying? I like, real talk. Am I deficient in some type of literacy when it comes to interpretation that Bill Haney just said they'll fight anybody? I have to go back through the
Or whether it be in a fight, you know, then you to witness greatness, because that's what Devin is, and we're willing to fight anybody.
I mean, talk to me, people. I'm not making that's Bill, right? So why not give us a shot? You are chasing once again, another brother chasing a Latino fighter, another brother chasing. We have Errol Spence, we have Jermall Charlo, and now we have Devin Haney, all chasing. Now he's chasing damn Teofimo Lopez. And you know what? They don't want to freaking take no risks in between that fight. If you don't want to take a risk in between a fight, somehow, some way you don't have confidence. Because what I see in Canelo Alvarez, this motherfucker is going from division to division. Yeah, senor. Let's go, Grapio. Let's go. Yeah, see. He's going for the division. Boom, another title. Oh, let's go 175, Sergey. Okay, boom. Knockout in 11. Well, what's next? Let's sit down at the table. Let's get out this contract with his own free agent. Okay, free agent. Okay, good. Salute. Let's go and let's sit up here and let's go Callum Smith. Okay. I want the WBA super title. Oh, see. He goes up there and goddamn one-sided decision. Canelo is just making decisions and moving as a boss. So what I'm saying to my people, when it comes down to what you just heard, Bill say Devin is destined to be great. I don't doubt they're attempting to be great, right? I don't dispute that shit. But what I have an issue with is people who look at certain individuals that they live vicariously through. Like this game, of course, Bill been in the game for a long time, man. Come on. He's an OG in the freaking game. He's been in the music business, all that, right? People gonna freaking get close to him because if they are at a point where they're starstruck or they respect Bill in a certain way, I mean, they want to live vicariously through how close they are with him. A lot of what Bill says, people are not going to really decipher it and break it down before they regurgitate it. They're just going to digest it. Oh, man, yeah, he said Devin the best. Oh, Devin the best in the lightweight division. Devin going to fuck everybody up. All right. What about Teofimo Lopez? Just for, oh, man, he still ain't number one, man. He ain't unified, man. He don't have the real title. Listen, people, just like I demanded myself and in certain instances, right, to look at things above common sense, I ask you to do the same. Because we can't just keep on playing this same fiddle with a broken string and say, oh, Devin got the WBC belt, which has been extremely diluted by Mauricio Sulaiman, the president himself. He's diluted the fucking belt. Don't put yourself in a position where you want to hold tight. You don't even want to do shit else because you want one person. You want the man. You want the man at lightweight. As I sit and observe it, I'm saying to myself, like, I would have rather Devin Haney be in that position and Teofimo's chasing him. Because then, you know, I say to any grown man, now you're a leader. Would Devin Haney take the fight with Nakatani? Would Devin would have took the fight with Richard Comey? No, they decided to try to go over there to the WBC and the shit just freaking fragmented and fell apart, imploded. And then I always tell people, just because you have a plan on the mission, that doesn't mean you stick to the same plan. If your destination is out there, you make changes, you adapt, just like Floyd said. A true champion will adapt to anything. So you damn make your maneuvers. Okay, Team Lopez want to go over here to the IBF. Boom. They get it done. They get damn Vasil Lomachenko. Now he's a unified champion. So Bill said 150 don't get the shot. 150 don't get the shot. You know, we put a post up there with 150 throwing that freaking 50 cal long range sniper rifle out there, that jab on Devin Haney's jaw. Certain people didn't like it, made phone calls and shit. I'm like, damn, we can't play? We can't have no fun? We just trying to play and get this fight and promote, self-promote. But then, man, what's going on, man? What's going on? Why y'all coming at my boy Devin? We want the smoke. We want the fight. Isn't that what you got that whole nigga doing in your circle? You got that whole nigga over there doing the same exact thing. But we do it professionally, though. You know what I'm saying? We do it where people can look at it and respect it. Instead of, I don't have to get up here and say Michael Williams Jr. every freaking damn second I'm having a dialogue about boxing. But today, I got to put the receipts out there, Bill, because I don't know. You say you'll fight anybody, but anybody outside of Michael Williams Jr.? Now, I'm going to tell you, Bill, if you come up here with another opponent that's ranked somewhere in the stratosphere, in the orbit, around the area of Michael Williams Jr., come on, man. You are the general of the Duck Masters Coalition. I already have you in the Duck Masters Coalition, for real. I'm sending your medal in the mail. It's going to take a little bit of time with postage and everything and getting there expeditiously, but because of the holidays. But yeah, That right there, what y'all did with the receipts I have, it's a duck. The Duck Masters Coalition has your name and information. And of course, we have a resume. We're drafting up the certificate right now, and we're going to give you a patch, and we're going to send you your goddamn email because you just said y'all fight anybody. But Devin gets all upset, and he don't want to give Michael Williams a shot. A cat that you don't even see out here on social media. But next receipt, y'all.
Listen, and you can have him. He can be the A side. It don't matter. Oh, it fucking matter. Take your power puncher, the guy with all the shit, and put him on the A side, put him up on the fly, put him on the shit. No problem.
But
you ain't worried about that. That's happened. Not what we came for.
Listen, since you was talking to Bob, did you ask for Vasil?
Uh-oh.
Or you don't want you wouldn't fight him?
I want T.O.
Quiet. Man, come on, man. Respect WCS, man. Come on. Did y'all just see that? Bill rarely gets tongue-tied. But Vasil Lomachenko, he just said he fight anybody. And see, I'll just be looking back and I'll just be registering this motherfucker. I'll just be sitting up there just calibrating what I'm listening to. And I'm looking at certain people that just, he can say stuff, talk fast like he used to, and then nobody's really paying attention to what he's saying because they really don't have a vested interest. But see, Michael Williams Jr., Team Williams Jr., we had a vested interest in challenging Devin Haney because we felt we can go in there and pull off that damn upset. They know it's a challenge. They know damn well it's a challenge. They know they got problems. A lot of people want to sit up here and say, oh, Devin Haney beat the shit out of Michael Williams. Prove it. Prove it. Prove that he'll whoop the shit out of Mike. Man, nobody's believing that shit. Gamboa was up there laughing, frolicking around in the ring. He was so jovial. I remember being out here and, going his fight with Gervonta Davis covering, and he was so serious, straight-faced, stoic. And then I see him smile. Gamboa looked like he had 3 or 4 women waiting on him with a stripper pole in the back. He was so happy after leaving the fight with Devin Haney. But did you just hear and see what Ness just asked Bill? Ness asked Bill, because Ness do this. You ain't thinking about fighting Vasil Lomachenko, the one? Listen to me. The one that just lost to Teofimo Lopez, the same common opponent. Okay, once again, when you set yourself in a trap, stop trying to act like you don't know what's going on. If you set yourself in a motherfucking trap, you know what to expect. You sat up there and fought the common opponent in Gervonta Davis, right? Just coming off a knockout, right? All right. So you're chasing Teofimo Lopez, but now you get asked a question about Vasil Lomachenko. So, okay, I'll play it back again.
Listen, and you can have him. He can be the A side. It don't matter. Oh, it fucking matter. Take your power puncher, the guy with all the shit, and put him on the A side, put him up on the fly, put him on the shit. No problem.
But
you ain't worried about that. That's happened. Not what we came for.
Listen, since you was talking to Bob, did you ask for Vasil?
Uh-oh. See, did you see the look on Bill's face? He said, when you was talking to Bob, Ness said, when you was talking to Bob, did you ask about Vasil? See, Ness do this. Did you ask about Vasil? He just froze. Shit. See, when you flowing like that and you just twisting, turning the motherfucking tongue cylinders, motherfucker like me, I'm just sitting back like this. I'm just looking. And then when the shit is over, I go hit replay again and patiently listen to the motherfucker again to make sure I heard what I heard. Plus, of course, I have a hand recorder too, so I can listen to that motherfucker with headphones. But twice, they'll fight anybody, but not Michael Williams Jr. Right? Vasil Lomachenko. No, I ain't talked to Bob about that, so they don't want no Vasil Lomachenko. They don't want no Vasyl Lomachenko, but World Combat Sports go over here and start talking about Devin Haney because Team Williams Jr. want that smoke, and people up here want to say the same shit all the time. We gotta get rid of that shit, black people. We can't keep on calling somebody a hater when it's not having anything to do with hating. Hating is, I wish Devin Haney never win another fight. That's motherfucking hating. So educate yourselves completely on what this shit means. Me, I'm media. I'm just reporting and what we know to be true. If you say you fight anybody, why not give Michael Williams a shot? He 14-0. But you want to tell us and convince that you're going to wait for Teofimo Lopez, who's trying to go over to Australia and get the bag. So now it comes to this next receipt, because I was going through how marginal and subpar Devin Haney's resume is, but yet people want to compare him to Floyd Mayweather. It's absurd to be comparing Devin Haney to Floyd Mayweather on all measures. Be yourself. Be yourself there, Devin. You'll be good. Be yourself. Bill has kept on playing that Devin don't have no more power. He's talking about line up the power guy, put him on the flyer and all that. He can be the A side and all that. And basically what he was trying to say is that he's going to outbox him. Devin going to go in there and outbox him. Okay. You must not seen what Gervonta Davis did to Leo Santa Cruz. Like when he found out Leo couldn't really hurt him like that, he was just playing around. He was just willing to take the punches to tire Leo Santa Cruz out. And once he got him right where he wanted him and set that trap, and Leo sent that damn right hand too many times, the third time, he sent the uppercut. Slip, boom. Left uppercut, good night. Bill fight anybody. Vasyl Lomachenko, they don't want that smoke. But this is the same motherfucker they was going around here trying to tell people that Vasyl Lomachenko ducked him. Right? Wasn't that Team Haney? And that whole nigga they got out there talking? Wasn't he out here saying, oh, Vasyl Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney. Devin Haney was the mandatory. Find me a fucking document that says Devin Haney was the mandatory for Vasyl Lomachenko. Find it. Find out where they mandated that Devin Haney was a mandatory. So therefore, if you all had felt some type of way about Lomachenko vacating, getting off that damn WBC title that Haney received via SMTP, and he became the franchise belt, why aren't you going out here trying to fight him if he just lost to Teofimo Lopez with a shoulder injury? You'll fight 39-year-old Gamboa, who is 39 years old today. Yeah, his birthday is today. Coming off Achilles tear, but you would not say Vasily Lomachenko is the next opponent that you're interested in when he coming off a shoulder injury. I mean, seriously, am I right or wrong? Let me get to some of the comments, man. I apologize for not getting to a lot of the comments, but I'm just trying to cook and stay on topic. Luke Day Walker say Haney is overrated. Randall Walford said 50 Cent just called Bud a sellout on Twitter. Black people love calling one another a sellout. All right. And any black person, look, one thing about me as a black person from the South, I don't have to consult with another black person on what I know and what I've experienced in life. Understand that. Hodges said, what's good, Hodges? IB said Canelo is literally proven he can do what he wants and fights who he wants. And this is what I'm talking about, IB. That's what we trying to say. We got 3 black fighters right now chasing Latino fighters. So Latinos, look, check this out, right? Check this out. This is how much I pay attention to detail, right? When Canelo Alvarez saw Teofimo Lopez, he thanked him for the way he was representing Latino fighters in boxing. Let that just marinate a little bit. Canelo Alvarez didn't go up there and say, hey, good job you did with Vasyl Lomachenko. Good job. He said he appreciate how Teofimo Lopez is representing Latino fighters, man. So we know the Latinos look out for one another, and just like the Filipino fighters and stuff. But when it comes to blacks, nah. You might get spurts and sprinkles here and there. But why do we have 3 separate black fighters chasing Latino fighters in the sport of boxing? You are more than capable of being leaders in this sport. You have to take risks to be a leader, especially in a full contact sport. You have to take risk. If you're going to compare yourself to the best ever, you have to take risk. You have to take risks. You have to get ahead of the pack. Now, they will always tell you it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, in boxing, it is kind of how you start. Real talk. It is. So Michael Williams Jr. issued a challenge, Devin. Bill say y'all fight anybody, but yet y'all don't want to give Michael Williams Jr. 150 the shot. You don't want to mention Vasyl Lomachenko, who's coming off a shoulder injury, but you'll fight an old ass, freaking antiquated, anachronistic freaking Gamboa, who's coming off a freaking knockout, not a decision win, a knockout. Now, one thing I can say about Vasyl Lomachenko, he answered the final bell on his feet. So take that motherfucking shoulder injury, bring him back, say, well, yeah, we'll fight Vasyl Lomachenko. Fuck it. You know why they ain't gonna fight Vasyl Lomachenko? Because they feel like it's a freaking deleterious move. It's dangerous. It's danger close, goddammit. Michael Williams Jr., danger fucking close. See, one thing I know about what I see on Devin Haney's record, it's not that many brothers on there. That's a testament to the way we move as black people. We don't want to give the other the shot. Why? Why you really don't want to give us the shot unless it's something special? It has to be extremely special. But you're saying you'll fight everybody, but just not that brother. You got Michael Fowler on there that you ain't faced since. Look, Michael Fowler, he faced in 2016. Where's another brother on Devin Haney's record? What are we doing? We just want to say, oh, let me fight Mexicans. So when I get to where I want in this boxing career, the Mexicans will accept me, the Asians and everybody else, and look at my record and say, hi, domo arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. Don't see too many black people on your record. Yes, we give you a shot. Thank you. God damn, thank you. Dad, yeah, we got it. Why Devin Haney, who has 25 victories, only have one brother on his record? Somebody explain that shit to me. I'm freaking puzzled beyond, not like I don't know why, but I'm just saying, why don't you have another black fighter? Why don't you have a plethora of black fighters when there's plenty in the sport of boxing? Why didn't you take on more black fighters who I see fighting on the damn regional level and the amateur level all the time? Why do you have these freaking neighboring fighters, Dominican Republic, Mexican fighters? Why not the brothers? Why not the brothers? Because you know what? They believe that fighting another brother at that level is not going to sell or anything. It's not going to do too much for them. You know what I'm saying? They'll fight a motherfucking, they'll fight a Guyana. They will fight a guy from Nigeria. They'll fight a Cuban. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a black American, right? Why is it that Team Haney does not have brothers on their resume? Not to mention that your resume sucks. Your resume, you calling yourself this champion. I demand of myself, a certain type of dignity. But when I see my people looking at Instagram and they think buying a vehicle, because look, when Michael Williams Sr. put that post out there and that shit blew the fuck up, all of a sudden, we get Devin to post a motherfucking luxury vehicle with money in the dash. Oh my God, man. I wish we wouldn't do that. What does fun the lifestyle do for most people? For those who don't understand it, or they freaking starstruck, they will get all freaking flabbergasted about it. They say, oh yeah, look at Devin. He living lavish. But I can tell you this right here. I never knock a man about earning the fruits of his labor, man. That's hating. If you do that, you're hating. But I can tell you this right here. I can tell you him and everybody that's in that family tree, they can't stop working and maintain their lifestyle. They can't. Devin can't stop boxing a day and maintain their lifestyle. They can't. He has to keep on building on that lifestyle. That's the way I look at it. Like, am I really considered wealthy? Can I stop working today and continue to get residual income and flourish? Do I make money in my sleep? Because last time I checked, boxing is what is feeding and allow him to flourish. But back to the receipts, people. Back to the receipts. Let me take you to another receipt, because I'm up here and I'm going through these motherfucking receipts, and people are shooting me, dropping emails and saying I'm hating on the young brother. Man, get the fuck out of my face with this young brother shit. I'm still a brother too. But this is motherfucking boxing. So if you got the fuck nigga goddamn dogging brothers out, you know, dogging Gary Russell out, a family I respect, a boxing family. You know, I call it the first family of boxing. The Russell, shout out to Russell, just had a death in their family. But you got a fuck nigga up here, you know, saying all this shit just to prove a point about Devin Haney. I don't appreciate that. Don't co-sign a fuck boy, right? So therefore, I look at it like this. When are y'all gonna hold what's obvious accountable? When are you gonna hold them accountable? You know what I'm saying? Hold on for a second before I get this receipt. Hold on for a second. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, cool. All right, let's get back to cooking. Let me show you this last receipt, because this is what I want you to understand, right? I had some discussions with some individuals, and they cannot fathom what Bill has did as far as social media. Okay, that's what he's supposed to do. He's self-promoting, he putting in the work, all right? But then I'm explaining to them, going over box rec. And then I get this, man, just let him grow. He's still young in the sport. But no, you're saying that he's still young in the sport. But what they saying is, who the fuck is Michael Williams Jr.? He ain't did shit, but he has a 14-0 record. So what my analytics is saying, look at the record and see who Devin Haney is fought. Is it top 10? So let me take you to this third receipt. All right. Listen carefully about the same fighter that I was mentioning, Alfredo Santiago. Listen to what Bill speaks on.
When is your son finally going to fight some top competition? Or do you plan to keep protecting his own like you've been doing?
When we got Santiago, he was ranked organization. Now you talk about the world, and then you talk about being ranked, right? You know, coming up the ladder top 25, right? The bottom 25 didn't want to fight Devin, and the top 25 didn't want to fight Devin. For us, it's all just one and the same.
When When is your son finally going to fight some top competition? Or do you plan to keep protecting his own like you've been doing? Thank you, Jab.
When we got Santiago, he was ranked organization. Now you talk about a world of fighters, and then you talk about being ranked, right? You know, coming up the ladder of the top 25, right? The bottom 25 didn't want to fight Devin, and the top 25 didn't want to fight Devin. So for us, it's all just one and the same. You know.
When is your
So Michael Williams Jr. can't get a shot because what I just heard is a bunch of bullshit. Did y'all just hear that? That's a bunch of bullshit, Bill. Come on, man. Bill, that's a bunch of bullshit, bro. You saying Alfredo Santiago is ranked in the organization. See, the fast talking, man, you slow that shit down when you get stuck and you weren't prepared. You're like, damn. Okay, Vasil Lomachenko, you was goddamn, running off on a bad clutch. You couldn't shift the gears. That motherfucking clutch was sticking. And then you stumbled through a motherfucking residential area when Santiago is thrown out there. So it's okay for them to ask you about Santiago. But when I ask about Santiago, I'm getting word that I'm hating and I'm a thorn and shit. But how am I a thorn when you are being presented with questions on a platform with a large audience and you run through that shit like I'm not going to be the motherfucker up there like, so Williams Jr. don't get no shot? So what you're saying is Alfredo Santiago was ranked in the organization. Global, you got that right. So he was ranked and he got all these fighters. So the top, look, the bottom 25 didn't want to fight Devin and the top 25 didn't want to fight Devin. So I'm saying to myself, God damn, Michael Williams Jr. should be in the middle somewhere. Because y'all coming off, the top 25 didn't want it. The bottom 25 didn't want it. And then you're like, well, that's what it is. I hope I told these fools what they want to hear. Did you just hear? No, we got to listen to this again. Because people be sitting up here looking at matches and motherfucking blocks of money. And I'm just saying, man, be smarter than that shit. Like, I don't have the huge amount. 100 motherfuckers tuned in. Okay, cool. But check this out, though. Am I not giving you or providing you some evidence that what Bill is relaying to the people is not all the way true, man? There's no reason why Michael Williams Jr. shouldn't have got this fight, dog. It's wrong on all measures, man, for real. Because you just sit up here and didn't know what the fuck to say about why y'all got a fighter like Alfredo Santiago. The bottom 25 and the top 25 didn't want to fight. So you basically saying you found Santiago in the parking lot of Target. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? Ven aquí. ¿Cuánto cuesta? Boxing Rec? What is it? 12-0? Oh. Where y'all find Alfredo Santiago at? I'm not saying he's a bad dude, right? But I'm talking strictly about what I just witnessed and heard from Bill Haney. You cannot sit up here and say I'm hating. You can't say I'm making up shit.
When is your son finally going to fight some top competition?
What did that caller ask? When is your son going to fight some top competition? The caller asked that shit. Same thing I asked on here. But somehow, some way, why am I a thorn? Why am I saying something? People sitting up here acting like they're acutely delusional, and they sitting up here acting like World Combat Sports hating on a young black fighter. I'm black all my motherfucking life. I'm spitting this media shit. If a caller calls in to a platform like TBV, which I respect, and they say, when are you gonna stop protecting your son? Let's
when is your son finally going to fight some top competition? Or do you plan to keep protecting his own like you've been doing? Thank you, Jab.
When we got Santiago, he was ranked organization. Now you talk about a world of fighters, and then you talk about being ranked, right? You know, coming up the ladder up top 25, right? The bottom 25 didn't want to fight Devin, and the top 25 didn't want to fight Devin. For us, it's all just one and the same.
What does one of the same mean? Somebody please educate me. What does one of the same mean? Because look, y'all want to quickly come over here and peek in through the window and run back and tell daddy. Y'all want to run back and tell, but when receipts are handed down, y'all got to find out another opportunity, man. Fuck him. Fuck that nigga. He a sellout. No, I ain't a sellout. I'm far from that. But I'm just saying, if Michael Williams Jr. presented the challenge, why in the fuck did you sit up here and act like Devin Haney has fought top tier opposition, and he's in the position of Teofimo Lopez? That is no way, shape, or form the truth. If Devin Haney had the damn unified titles right now, the question wouldn't even be presented. We wouldn't even take it to that level. It'll be foolish to sit up here and say, yeah, let's try to go for Devin Haney and he's unified champion. And Teofimo Lopez got the WBC. It'll be foolish. But assessing the record, knowing who Devin Haney is, fooling the people, living lavishly for now, and a lot of people, have that social media respect for Bill, and they should, right? But when you're listening to anyone talk, right, and their language is English, a person like me shouldn't have to sit up here and tell you how you should interpret something and what you should freaking jettison. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't sit up here and try to explain shit to you. He said it himself. They're willing to fight anybody. But if that's the case, I'm holding you to that standard. Why the fuck you ain't fighting Williams Jr. then? And then you duck again when it comes to Vasyl Lomachenko. Did you talk to Bob Arum about Vasyl Lomachenko? No, you ain't talk to him, man. You don't want that smoke with Vasyl Lomachenko. Because you cannot sit up here and do what Shakur Stevenson is saying he'll do. He said, I'll take that fight at 130. Did you see the pause? Did you see the pause? Let's ask him about, did you talk to Bob Arum about Vasyl? Pause. Pause. Delay. We want T.O. So once again, man, my people, leadership is from the front. Some decisions you have to make that you really don't know the outcome. And everybody was like, that ain't a smart business move. It is in a full contact sport. Just ask Canelo Alvarez. If people respect the performance that you put in, they're going to respect you more on what you come out there with. Either you win or you lose. But you went in there and gave it everything, and they know you stepped up to the plate. They still going to fucking respect you. Just like I say, mixed martial artists. You have MMA guys that have multiple losses, but yet they're respected for the longevity they have had in the sport and who they've competed against. The wins and losses and everything combined together, the fans would cheer them on. In boxing, to an extent, that doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen. But hearing what you just heard, am I sitting up here creating a narrative? No, I'm not. I'm telling you exactly what he's saying. They will fight anybody. They did not want to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. So tell the fuck boy to stop putting it out there like Devin Haney want to damn fight everybody. And listen, if you are an amateur fighter that's being influenced, because I was a teenager once, right? If you are an amateur fighter and you're still a teenager, right? I know it's going to be easily an avenue for which you might be influenced. But don't let a fool lead you to your demise. Be smart about it. When you have a motherfucker that's coming to you, that's older than you, that's doing absolutely nothing in their life, don't allow that individual to provide the steps that you choose to take next in your life. Understand and know that motherfucker is setting you up for failure. Don't sit up here and call a fighter a fucking bum when you haven't heard the fighter say anything about you. The fighter haven't said anything about you, bro. This boxing game is dirty. That same fighter that you call a bum, that you never met, that's not even on social media, damn going back and forth with dudes, you're going to be influenced by a lie. Once again, black people being influenced by a lie. You cannot allow that shit to control and dictate who you are as a grown adult, as a young adult or a grown adult. You can't sit here and call Michael Williams Jr. a bum and you never met him. And not even that, you never even stepped in the ring with him. It reminds me of that shit Eddie Hearns pulled off when he came to NYC. It's somebody, Anthony Joshua coming over here. They want to make a big fucking deal and act like, no one knows Deontay Wilder, but everybody over here knows Anthony Joshua. So he was allegedly, Eddie Hearns was putting this facade on, going out into the streets, asking random people, who is Deontay Wilder, right? So when you say, who is Deontay Wilder, the natural reaction to me would say, I don't know, who is he? I mean, look, check this out. If they don't know who Eddie Hearns is, why would they relay the answer to a sport? So Eddie Hearns is asking these people, do you know Deontay Wilder? And they're like, oh, who is he? A basketball player? Who is he? A hockey player? You know, they just coming out with these damn premeditated, scripted answers. That's what that shit remind me of. Like if somebody asks you a question, they say, hey, do you know this guy? He a bum. So basically, if fighters are going to call one another bums and you're still an amateur, what have you did to be considered anything except a fighter that's trying to make it to where Williams Jr. is at right now? Because you don't even have a professional record. Because at the end of the live, you're going to say, oh, why he want to fight me and I'm still amateur? Nah, motherfucker, you just called him a bum. You talking that grown man talk in boxing and calling a fighter a bum. But I guarantee you he will fuck you up. Period. He will fuck your ass up. Don't sit up here and look, bro, don't try to sit up here and beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney has a record. You don't. I'm keeping it 100. Devin Haney has a fucking record. I know it's a lot for you to be around that environment and you soaking it all in and continue to be a sparring partner. Continue to be a sparring partner. But don't sit up here and call a fighter a bum that'll fuck you up in sparring. If you're not a professional fighter and you know that, you know damn well you won't be stepping in the ring with him. But you want to sit up here and call a fighter a bum? Somebody that's 21 years old that you might have to face later on in your career? He's going to remember, oh, this is the dude that was calling me a bum. And you're a young cat in the game. I get it, man. It's not personal with me. You're a young cat in the game. But don't sit up here and call a motherfucker. Look, don't call a young man who's doing what he's supposed to do in the sport of boxing a bum just off the influence of someone, whoever that was, that's taking advantage of who you are in life. You're a young teenager. Don't sit up here and say, well, I got to rock for Team Haney, so let me sit up here and call somebody a bum. That's what we do. But listen, my brother, he's 21 years old, bro. You're still a teenager. You don't think he's going to be around by the time you turn professional? Man, are you not thinking smart? You think they're going to move you like they do Devin Haney? But you got to be smart. You can't come up here letting people influence you and calling somebody who's never fucked with you a bum. And then think that person telling you that he wants to fight you. Black people, once again, tell their motherfucking ass a lie. And for real, you get 3 or 4 other motherfuckers that's gonna believe that lie, and it's gonna trickle down, and then you get a whole mass of motherfuckers say, hey man, you know what I heard about so-and-so? So-and-so, man, he fucked up, man. Don't fuck with him, dog. Don't fuck with him. Could you imagine someone being in a position? Listen, you ever heard how they talk about the chief of the African tribe on how the European came over there and presented them with religion and asked them to bow their head in prayer. And when they opened their eyes, that's all they had was religion and prayer, because they pretty much had everything else taken from them. You know, they pretty much offered them weapons, and they took everything else to allow them to grow as a people. You know, I think to myself sometime, right? I think as black people, we truly don't understand what we should have learned from back then. And when it comes to this boxing game right here, it's just irritating that when you help people and they got these key words, receipts, capping, and all this other shit. What is it considered when I show you those receipts? Is it capping? Is Bill out here capping? We have every right to lie, but when it comes to this boxing game and social media, is Bill capping? He said he'll fight anybody, but he didn't want to fight Michael Williams Jr. They have no opponent. Don't come on my channel talking about somebody butthurt. I'm not butthurt. I'm just talking about what's obvious. We got 3 black fighters chasing Latino fighters right now. Teofimo Lopez and Canelo Alvarez. Salute to both of them. But I'm talking about my people. Why aren't they chasing you? Why aren't we making those decisions? If you have a fighter out here that you know meet the standards of your last 3 opponents, if you're going to turn them down, don't get out here and say you stopped them in sparring like that has anything to do with the now. That shit don't have nothing. It don't have nothing to do with the now, goddammit. We're talking about you understanding so-and-so is not the same individual that stepped in sparring with you, that Bill. Michael Williams Jr. is not the same guy who stepped in sparring with you. But yet you get out here and explain to the public and make phone calls and shit. And I just look at that like being prior military. I'm like, the only time we make phone calls is to change up the plan and keep the mission, you know, ongoing. We don't stop the mission. We don't stop the mission. Boots on the ground, we pushing. If we need close air support, we call it in CAS, goddammit. But don't try to shut down the runway. Seriously? You gonna shut down the runway, dog? So we can't even take off in this bitch? You're gonna shut down the motherfucking runway. Oh my God, dog. Let me go back. For the last time, I want y'all to understand when I was talking about Santiago and how of a subpar opponent he was. You know, I'm getting these inbox shit. And Ness is basically explaining to a caller that Bill is protecting. Bill is protecting. Are you going to continue to protect your son's O? That's somebody outside of me that feels the same way. And it's all about building up your fighter, right? But how many wins do Devin Haney has to turn down a fight with Michael Williams Jr. when Teofimo Lopez is looking to go to Australia and make millions of dollars? So you can get on here and buy any vehicle you want. But what is the sport that you're making a living off of? Boxing. You're making a living off boxing there, Devin. You are making a living off boxing. You can't stop working today. If you want to hang out, you cannot retire today and say, you know what, I'm rich. In your heart of hearts, my brother, you can't do that shit. So don't sit up here and call Williams Jr. a motherfucking bum when you ducking him and you don't even want to smoke with him. Y'all don't even have an opponent set up for 21. But you sitting up here saying, you know what, we're going to present to the public. You faking. You faking like he's not worthy to step in there. But you don't understand. We don't need the motherfucking title. You know why we don't need the title, that Devin? Because you didn't beat anybody to get the title. So why would we jinx ourselves? We don't need the motherfucking titles, dog. You picked up the interim and the WBC Super, and they mean absolutely nothing right now because you didn't fight nobody. But we'll take that name and that record, big dog. We'll take that name and that record. We will take the name and the record, dog. Why shut down the motherfucking runway? Why? You didn't like the energy? You didn't like how that jet was lifting off that motherfucker? You just want us to goddamn say, no, we want to keep him in that twin engine plane. Just keep him in a twin engine plane. You know, make sure the elevation is around 5 to 1,000 feet, no higher than that. And then the air time, the flight time, we want them about around 2 to 3 minutes. And once it's reached 3 minutes, have them land again and go on about their business. In my opinion, that's hating. Seriously, that's motherfucking hating when at the end of the day. That's hating. You can't beat receipts. Let's look at the last.
Is your son finally going to fight some top competition? Or do you plan to keep protecting his own like you've been doing? Thank you, Jeff.
When we got Santiago, he was ranked in organization. Now you talk about a world of fighters, and then you talk about being ranked, right? You know, coming up the ladder up top 25, right? The bottom 25 didn't want to fight Devin, and the top 25 didn't want to fight.
Oh my God!
Foreign or whether it be in a fight, you know, then you didn't witness greatness, because that's what Devin is, and we're willing to fight anybody. And sparring or whether it be in a fight, you know, then you witness greatness. That's what Devin is. We're willing to fight anybody.
Anybody, right? Anybody.
Hey, listen, and you can have him. He can be the A side. It don't matter. The guy with all the shit. Put him on the A side. Put him up on the fly. Put him on the shit. No problem.
But
Not what we came for.
Since you was talking about, did you ask for Brazil?
uh-oh.
Or you don't want? You wouldn't fight him?
I want Tio.
Quiet.
Man, I know it's close to the holiday, but I had to get this out because people, when you talk reckless behind the scene, as if somebody else is doing something wrong in this boxing game or combat sports in general, you have to be recognized. That's all. You have to be recognized, bro. This shit is no way, shape, or form personal, and especially if you got a fuck nigga talking shit and disrespecting people. This is light work. This is light work of what I'm doing. Light work. Seriously, it's really light work because I call this shit bezel media. You know what I'm saying? You just sit up here and bring the receipts on time on individuals that's trying to prove to the public that a fighter isn't worthy. And I'm telling you that it's circumstances where that may be truth, but in this particular circumstance, it is absolutely not even close to being a reputable decision that you made. Don't sit up here and try to slightly defame a fighter for being stopped in sparring, but yet you know very well. So right now, from what his transformation, what his skill set is, who he's trained by with Roy Jones Jr., he would be an absolute problem because you yourselves was trained at Roy Jones Jr. at one point in time. So what is that going to say? There's tools in the box. You know what I'm saying? There's there's training knowledge there because that was your stopping point at one point in your career. Hey, you know it's a dangerous fight. I admit, you know what I'm saying? You ducked. Period. Let's put that out there. Team Haney ducked Michael Williams Jr. when he's 14-0 and he's not even ranked. But hey, he's sitting up here selling that whatever it is, it's not a dream. Selling the motherfucking wheelbarrow of rocks and telling them, hey, this from the moon. This wheelbarrow of rocks from the moon. This moon rocks right here. We selling these motherfuckers for goddamn 20,000 a rock. You trying to sit up here and convince the people that the top 25 and the bottom 25, they didn't want to fight Devin Haney. Do we even know who? I was looking at the ranking system. You said the bottom 25, the top 25, the bottom 25. Neither one of them wanted to face Devin Haney. I think I really regurgitated this enough, and I'm gonna let it go. I think the people who was here understands where I came from with this. They seen the receipts. Devin Haney has a lot of road work ahead of him, man. You know, because right now I'm asking about this next opponent because I truly don't believe the next opponent is going to be Teofimo Lopez. You want him to go back in fight camp and fight George Kambosos, and you all just going to wait? You're going to fight once? Why y'all fighting just once a year, twice a year? I can see if it was COVID. I can see if it's COVID. Real talk. I can see if the shit was COVID. But please tell me you're not going to wait on Teofimo Lopez for your next fight. Tell me you're not going to wait on Teofimo Lopez for a big money fight because you really don't want to place yourself in the predicament of getting injured again or facing an opponent that, one, the public is not going to agree with, or two, that might be a tough opponent. But if I had to sit up here and observe what move you're going to make, you're going to get a soft touch, and it's going to pretty much contradict what you was talking about as far as bottom 25, top 25. You know why? Because the last time I checked, I think Santiago, he was like 69th, right? Come on, Bill, that dude was like 69. You talking about Santiago? Come on, man. The bottom 25 and the top 25, like what scale are we gauging that off of? Where's the ruler? Where's the spreadsheet? Where's the pie? How are we slicing the motherfucking pie on that shit, dog? The bottom 25 and top 25, but Santiago is ranked 69. You say he was ranked in the organization. No shit. No shit, he was ranked in the organization. But dude, man, y'all know what it is. Let me move on. Y'all know what it is, man. Crawford. This is my last thing, man. Crawford put out recently. You know, he did a article basically talking about Errol Spence 70-30, right? And Crawford had this to say. Let me see. Well, first I want to say what Spence. I want to speak on some quotes that Spence said. He said, "I think it could happen." Of course, that's what we've been hearing for Spence. Spence said, "I think it could happen. We would have to see how it goes," Spence said. Al Heyman and Crawford promoter Bob Arum need to sit down. Of course they do. And Bob need to stop lying. We'll see. It's definitely could happen next year. We just have to sit down and talk and go over the numbers, things like that. Why is Bob playing an intricate role in Errol Spence's narrative when no one ever hardly even sees Al Heyman? So why are you bringing Bob into the equation when you're trying to fight? When Bud Crawford is calling you out, he's trying to fight you, but yet you're trying to sit up here and act like he's a motherfucking subordinate. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a subordinate, so it's whatever we give him. Why? Isn't the phrase that we use, "Hey man, black people, we need to eat together. Let's raise another black man up. We need to eat together. Let's eat." And then when it comes down, let me get these crumbs off the table. They're black. Here you go, Black. Put that shit together. That's a damn appetizer right there, Black. Just stay close to it. I'm gonna get you fed. Right now, I just want to give you what I think you at right now. Take those crumbs, put a little saliva to them, hold them in your mouth before you swallow, and you good. Jesus. Spence say, I'm the big dog in welterweight division. He has to take a back seat and take the 60-40 split of 70-30, whatever we give him. And I'm saying to myself, there, Errol, why does Terrence Crawford have to take a back seat when he's a 3-division champion? Why does automatically come out your mouth and people just want to say it's just trash talk banter, right? You know, that's the cadence he chooses to use. Why are people sitting up here saying that I'm a co-sign on what Spence said? Terrence Crawford need to take a back seat. Why in the fuck he need to take a back seat though? Like, take a back seat to someone who's campaigned in the same division his whole entire career, and now he's chasing after Canelo Alvarez? Why does Terrence Crawford, who is a former undisputed champion, has to take a back seat? Man, we disrespect each other all the time, bro. For real. Crawford had this to say. Well, first they said Crawford said he was not at all offended by Spence's remarks about the purse split or divisive comments that he should take whatever we give him. In fact, Crawford laughed when reminded of Spence's comments. It almost sounds like he thinks I'm desperate. Crawford told Boxing Scene. Is he desperate for the fight? Hell no. I'm in a good place in my life right now. I'm having fun with chilling out, having kids and enjoying my kids, said Crawford, whose wife gave birth to their 6th child, family man, a girl, Trinity Michelle Crawford, last week. I don't worry about things I can't control. I mean, like everybody always got an opinion. And I just laugh a lot of people's opinions that said I haven't fought nobody. I mean, anybody. I just laugh like this guy, he's on his high horse. Maybe that's a wreck. Maybe that wreck knocked a couple of screws loose. So out of all that narrative, people ran with not what Spence said, but they ran with what Crawford said. Just because Crawford related to the accident that was the fault of Errol Spence getting behind the wheel intoxicated. But he said the accident may have knocked a couple of screws loose. That's not something that's just, being defaming. You know what I'm saying? He got behind the wheel intoxicated. He said that's on him. That's how he feels. Listen, if the fight happens, it happens. If it don't, then it don't. I don't know what he's going to do. What's his plans? So I can't speak on it. He got something else on his agenda. Obviously, that's true words. That's true words. Errol Spence has something else on his agenda, y'all. He said, talk is good. I don't know what him and his team agenda is. So, I can't speak on it, Crawford said. They got something else I guess they're working toward. I already stated everything I need to say in the past. I don't think it's necessary for me to keep saying the same thing over and over. I think that everybody gets who I want to fight. See, that's getting straight to the point, man. Crawford said everybody gets on who they think I want to fight. Pretty much the people know that he wants to fight Spence. Y'all already know that that's going to be the question that comes up anytime I'm interviewed or anytime he's interviewed. Crawford said, I don't take it as nothing. I don't take it as nothing. You get tired of what the saying, when are you and Errol fighting questions? I know he's tired of being asked when you're going to fight Terrence. I don't care about what other people ask him or what his reply is. I love to be in there more than once this year, like I used to be. But at the same time, it's great. I even had a fight this year because I know some fighters didn't even get a chance to fight this year, or they had to take a massive pay cut, Crawford said. Crawford also tapped down the notion that it's tension between him and Aaron over a remark Aaron made around the Brook fight. Aaron said he is losing money on Crawford fights, that Crawford needs to fight. Crawford needs to be better with the media and do better job of bringing attention to himself and events, and that Crawford hampered the promotion of Brook fight by delaying signing the contract of weeks, even though everything was agreed to. So Crawford responds by saying, "Not really." Crawford said, when asked about if there were any issues between him and Bob Arum, Bob hasn't said anything to me directly. I saw him do a couple of interviews, but that's Bob. He's entitled to say how he feels and what he wants. I'm entitled to feel how I feel and say what I want. But the difference between me and him is if I got a problem with someone, I'm going to take it up with that someone. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that are untrue of what's being said that I don't like, but I'm not going to elaborate on it. I'll let them save face. As for the cheddar that he's plans to leave Top Rank for PBC when his contract is up next fall, he said, that never came out of my mouth, nor did I say anything like that. That's the crazy part, Crawford said. There's a lot of things going around that's untrue. If you haven't heard me say it, then you know that's it. I never said anything about leaving Top Rank or signing with PBC or anything. I never said anything. I'll tell you, like I told everybody from the jump, I'm with Top Rank right now. That's my promotion company. In the future, who knows what the future may hold? When the time comes around, we can revisit the conversation about that. Until then, I'm signed with Top Rank. Hey, it doesn't get any clearer than that, people. It doesn't get any clearer than that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get any clearer than that. Hey, the link is out there for anybody who choose to hop on. If not, you know, I'll freaking abort mission. Appreciate everyone who pulled up. Sir Ken in the building. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like button. Appreciate you each and every time for pulling up. Ken, real talk. Everyone who pulled up to the damn World Combat Sports Live today. You may have thought it was repetitive, but you know, the team I represent, I had to put it out there because it's just so much false narratives that's being flown in the media current out here. And, you know, I just want the motherfucking put an oar in that motherfucking splash the water around and see what was floating in that motherfucker. There's a lot of trash. You know what I'm saying? Like people saying they fight anybody and everybody, but yet no shot. No shot. And then I just had to put the receipts up there. Y'all saw the receipts. Hit replay when it's all said and done, man. That's where we at right now. All right. Shout out to Team Williams Jr., man. And you know, everybody else that pulled up today. Enjoy your holidays. Yeah, I'll definitely be on tomorrow to talk about some of the big events that's going on in mixed martial arts. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. You know what it is. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tune in to World Combat Sports.